My name is Richard Applin. I work as a over-the-road truck driver for H&B Trucking out of Chicago Ridge, Illinois. Well, my typical day, or as I call them, basically typical trips, being that I'm out between 28 to 35 days at a time, which is not always the case with every company. Everyone has different requirements for it. Typical trip, leaving out in the morning, I have to go get live loaded, which is an actual live load. It's not a drop and hook of a trailer. A little bit more time involved, but it's a necessary evil of the industry. Leaving, going to Jackson, Missouri, where I have an unload, and I'm basically responsible for, figuring out your exact times, because you have traffic, you have a lot of variables, weather, traffic, a lot of things that you have taken into account, and you have to factor those in to make sure that you are actually a little bit early if possible, because you never know of delays right now. Secondly, after that, I will be unloaded. I will have a reload very short in geographic area, and then we'll be on to the next. Within those days, we have certain legal DOT requirements. We have a 30-minute break. We have certain things that we have to do that are requirements for not only the company as well as DOT. But you're responsible for everything to do with the load as well as your vehicle. And also a very important responsibility is keeping your, what they call now, is electronic logs. That tracks all of your time from point A to point B, C, getting fuel, brakes, that includes every single thing. It's definitely a good thing. A lot of people were simply pushing themselves too hard, and it's a good thing that we've gone to that completely. As I may have mentioned earlier, this job definitely is not for everyone. There are some stress levels that we have to deal with. As an example, our winters are bad sometimes. Up in the east, it can be bad. Dealing with traffic, there's so much road construction going on in every single state. That is something also that can be dangerous, but you really have to pay attention to your surroundings and read your signs to make sure you know what's in front of you. Your GPS is not going to tell you everything. The super stresses, I would say, being snowed in, ice, black ice, we all hear about it. It can be very stressful and as well very dangerous. You just have to be responsible and know the signs when you need to end your day. A simple day would be just a smooth drop and hook, which means your load is ready, you drop it empty, pick up a loaded, and just a smooth sunny day like we have today is a blessing. My typical work day as far as hours, overall hours worked, would be right around 12 to 13 hours. Legally, that includes your 11 hours of driving and the 3 off duty. We have a total of 14 hours per day that we can work, 11 hours of which would be driving. And I tell you, by the end of 11 hours, you are ready to rest. The legal weekly would be 8 days, 70 hours driving time. So that is the limit in which you would have to do what they call a 34-hour reset, which means you have to be off duty for 34 hours, a small weekend, if that. You never know. There's adventure around every corner. It's a little bit of, they call a modern-day cowboy. You're all over and you're running. You have to be able to adapt quickly to environments and problem solve very quickly. No one is going to be there to hold your hand or help you out. The educational requirements for these positions we've been speaking of, you have to obtain a CDL, commercial driver's license, a Class A for the tractor trailers. These can be attained, the CDL that we spoke of, through any local college, a lot of local colleges, as well as a lot of truck driving schools in your state. The typical time in school will be, I would say, between 6 and 10 weeks is kind of a good average, a full day, so you can account 8 hours a day for that amount of time. And good characteristics, I would say, definitely great at time management. If you're not, you will learn it. You have to learn it to make money. Self-starter, someone who likes a challenge, honestly. Someone who likes to overcome those objectives that can be very difficult. And you like to, the adventure. I see a lot of things all over and I love it, and it becomes part of you if it's something for you. I would say the best parts of this job would be, honestly, what we're able to see that very few people, they're still in bed. We see sunset, sunrises, beautiful mountaintops, you name it. I love the challenge of it, honestly. I love for someone to say, give me something tough to do. I like to overcome that. It's always been something for me. And this is something that you can do on your own. This is got to be a self-starter. You do it on your own. It's really 100% up to you. And it's nice to not sit behind a desk, honestly. The worst part, I would say, Also, some of the best parts too is, it's the weather. It's beautiful, but sometimes it can get crazy. You have to really be really self-reliant. Make sure if you get in a situation, you got to be able to get yourself out of it, no matter what it is. Be safe, be smart, be aware of your surroundings. And also, some of the worst can be as far as the delivery itself. In these bigger cities, it can be tough. It's a big challenge. It can be really tough. These old cities really weren't designed for 53-foot trailers. That's the biggest, I'd say the biggest headache, the biggest stressor, and the biggest objective to overcome would be that. Now, I am away from home a good bit. I do have a family, I have a home I keep up. Being away from home can be stressful. It's all in how you handle it. And you kind of almost have to, you can reinvent yourself. It's not a job, it's more like a life. It's not like anything I ever had in my life. It's very, very different, and either you love it or hate it, but it can definitely get inside here. I would say the best advice to prepare, get into this industry, first and foremost, keep your driving record perfect. Tickets, you name it, alcohol, drugs, DUI, you can forget about it. You're not going to get the job for most part. If so, you might be working for a fraction of what I would be working for. So keep everything clean, no drugs, no alcohol, be responsible. When you're out, when you're on your home time, once you're in it, be very responsible, Uber, but keep your driver's license intact and you'll be fine. Pay attention to your surroundings. That is the biggest thing. Other than that, I would say is make sure you know where you're going. There's a way in, make sure you have a way out. It can make your day a lot nicer.